girlies, welcome back to the pod. Today we are doing a general Q&A episode, pretty much. Not quite sure what the title will be, something related to that though. But we're talking all about hair tips, connecting with friends, low self-esteem, and how to start a podcast. So, super exciting things, and I just wanted to say, because I know a lot of y'all have been DMing me recently, and I haven't exactly been doing my best job of responding. By that, I mean I haven't been responding. But I would like to explain myself. So obviously, I'm a busy person. I have a life. This isn't the only thing I do. Obviously. So I haven't really had time. I've kind of been out of town all week, and I haven't really been in the right headspace to respond to people. So I'll try to respond to you guys as soon as possible. The good thing about this episode is that I'm answering a lot of your questions if you DM'd me in this episode. So stay tuned. But before we get into that, we just have best and worst of the week. So best of the week was that I didn't have school. I had this entire week off. I know I talked about this last week, but it's for like trips week, but seniors don't have trips. So I got to do my own college tour, and I'll just tell you the schools that I went to. We went to UVA, William and Mary, Duke, and Wake Forest. Super exciting, super fun. And that was a good time, I guess. More on that later. Haha, lol. Also just had Chipotle, so I'm feeling good, feeling great. Ready to start the day. It's like 2 p.m., but that's okay. That's okay. I also, guys, I got my ears pierced on my trip in Williamsburg, Virginia at a random Claire's. Super sketchy, but I loved it. Now I have 3 on each side. So that's very exciting. Yay me. I swear my dad doesn't know yet, so he'll probably say I'm emo, because when I got the second one, I think that was on my 16th birthday. Possibly. So almost 2 years ago. He asked me if I was okay and if I was turning emo. So you never know. I guess we're gonna see. We'll figure that out soon. Also, my ears are like slightly sore, so I can't wear headphones. So let's just hope I'm not screaming, really, because they do be hurting. Fingers crossed they're not infected. I think it'll be fine, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, worst of the week was a lot of things just weren't the best this week. The vibe was a little off. Related to the schools, they were all great, very pretty. The people were nice, but I honestly didn't really feel like there was one school that I was like, oh my gosh, I love it here. Like, I could totally see myself here. I was like, yeah, this is nice. It's fine. So that was a kind of sucky feeling going out of the week, because going into it, I was just thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna find my dream school. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna find a school and I'm gonna love it. So that didn't happen. So that just kind of makes me feel not the best, as one could assume. And I also took the ACT this morning, which was in fact my 4th time taking it. So that was a time. It was like me and a bunch of sophomores or juniors, so I felt like they all thought I was really stupid, because they're like, why are you here? But it wasn't that bad. The teacher I went to a public school to do it, just because, I don't know, I've always gone to this school to take the test, but the teacher's room that I was in, the proctor, was this Spanish teacher, and he was, oh my god, he was so funny, and I don't even know what he was saying, but he made the experience a little bit better. So shout out Senor Pena. Bless him. Also, just on the trip, not good vibes in general. Don't want to go too much into that, but was just not feeling my best this week mentally, I would say. There were a few tears. By a few, I mean a lot, but that's okay. Growth. Yeah, I'm here now. I had Chipotle. Feeling good, feeling great. And I think I'm going to watch Netflix after this. Or I still need to unpack. but like, I'll do it tomorrow. And also, okay, so I started watching Gilmore Girls, and at first I watched like the first episode. I was like, oh my god, this is so stupid. This is so boring. And I was like, but I'm just gonna watch the next episode to see if something interesting happens. Obviously, nothing interesting happens. So I'm like, okay, there has to be something interesting happening. So turns out I watched the whole season, the whole first season, and I'm kind of obsessed with it now. It's not even, I don't even know if I like it, but it's like one of those boring shows, I guess, that you're just like kind of watching just to watch. It's not that much of a plot. Kind of like The Office or like How I Met Your Mother. Loved How I Met Your Mother. That one was good. But it's kind of like that. And I've gotten in trouble for watching it because I've been watching it so much this week. But it's like the happy part of my day. So shout out Gilmore Girls for carrying me through. Not that you did the best job because oh, I also have homecoming next weekend. So, as one prepared person might do, I did buy my dress, in fact, just a week before. As in today, as in I got a dress today. Yeah. A lot of girls were in the store. It was kind of funny. And someone was asking them, they're like, oh, like, when do you have your dance? When's homecoming? They're like, oh, October, November. I'm like, mine's next week. hey, whatever. That's fine. I'm excited though. I think it'll be fun. Senior homecoming. The vibes. Okay, so now into the actual episode. So I asked y'all to send in some questions on Instagram, and fun fact, on Instagram, you know how your story's like up for 24 hours and then it goes away? So this makes me feel so stupid, but I posted this story, and then like 12 hours after, I was like reading through responses, reading people's questions, like, oh yeah, that's a good one, or like, oh my god, not gonna do that. You know how it goes. And then this morning while I was taking the ACT, I remembered I didn't take a screenshot of any of the questions. And I was sitting there and I just started laughing. I was like, oh my god. So I didn't make up these questions. These are the questions that I could remember. So sorry if I'm not answering yours. It's truly because I'm just like not on it this week. As I said, the vibes are off. Not the best time. We're struggling a little this week. That's okay though. That's okay. Just being honest here. So fun times, but that was a fun realization to have in the middle of my ACT. Yay. Great. Okay, good talk. So, first question. My hair is super frizzy and I think it might be wavy. How do I take care of it? Oh my god. So I swear I didn't make this one up just because I have stuff to talk about. Like, I actually saw this question. Which now I wish I didn't say that because I feel like everyone's going to think I'm making these questions up. I swear I'm not making any of the questions up, guys. I might have like paraphrased it or like made them shorter. Some of y'all sending in paragraphs. But yeah. So I would also say that I have wavy frizzy hair. I mean, obviously right now my hair is not looking the best. It's a little bit of a mess, as I am this week. I guess that's the theme. It's gonna be the theme of the episode and of my life. Good to know. So I would say if you have frizzy hair, you think it's wavy, few hot tips. Because I know I always bring up my sister, but she's really just not good with hair care. So I'm gonna go with the average person doesn't know stuff. But she has like fine wavy hair, but she brushes it so it gets like more frizzy, straight-ish. I tell her what to do with her hair and she doesn't listen. But anyways, she didn't know you had to be using conditioner. She would only use like this detox shampoo, no conditioner, would blow dry it, wouldn't put anything in her hair. And so her hair looks fried. She also gets it bleached, like does highlights, so it's in a not the best condition. Love her, she's gorgeous. Just saying, she doesn't do a very good job taking care of her hair. So if you're in that boat, a few hot tips. Actually use conditioner. I don't care if you think you have like quote unquote greasy hair or whatever. You need conditioner, okay? Everyone needs it. This is like the same with washing your face and like skincare. Everyone needs moisturizer, even if you have like oily skin, you still need moisturizer. So don't think you can just like miss out on it, because it's really gonna help. It's really gonna help, I swear. So use conditioner. Also, I know for me, I use some product in my hair. Honestly, it changes all the time. I've tried using like the curl creams or like gel. I've used like, what's it called? It's like a curl smoothie thing that's like really thick. My hair did not vibe with that. I think it's because I have really fine hair. It's like wavy slash curly slash straight. It's multi-textured, but it doesn't really hold anything very well, specifically heavy products, because my hair is already not very voluminous. So when I put a lot of heavy products on, it gets flat and not very cute. It also looks kind of like straw. So what I have found to work is I really like this leave-in conditioner from, it's, what is it called? Aveda? Yeah. Or Aveeno. I think it's Aveda. And this, I think it's called like wavy hair leave-in conditioner or something. I like that. I've tried using Aveda's curl cream and like their gel. It just really doesn't work for my hair, but I think if you have thicker hair, it might be better. Again, this is just my experience with someone who has like fine, frizzy, wavy hair, what I use. So if you have a different hair texture, obviously this probably won't work for you. As I said, we all have different hair, so it all goes differently. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. But what I have found to work that I really like and that I got from Target is the Not Your Mother's curl. It's like curl refreshing, what is it called? Foam. I don't know if you've heard about it, but they have Not Your Mother's. I know their mousse is really popular. I didn't try that because I was like, I need something extremely light. And I know technically you're supposed to use it just to like quote unquote refresh your curls. So like in between when you wash your hair. But I just have been using it and it's only honestly helped a lot and made my hair look good, smell better. I get more like of the spiral curls. I mean, my hair, I feel like everyone on YouTube is going to be looking at my hair trying to see if it looks wavy, which right now it doesn't. And I think that's because I don't even know the last time I washed my hair, maybe a few days ago. But also I have it in a clip, so it's kind of gotten stretched out. And as I said, my hair doesn't hold anything. Not even my own curls. So how does that work? How does that work? Someone explain it to me. Don't understand. Don't understand. But take care of your hair, guys. Be nice. If you're gonna get your hair bleached, make sure you're doing like hair masks or like deep conditioning and just things you can do to keep up your hair care, because I know when I was getting my hair highlighted, it got super frizzy. It was really thin. It didn't look cute. I mean, obviously, I do dye my hair now, but it's not bleach. So I think that's better. Maybe. I don't really know, but I would assume. Because I just dye my hair darker. I use the Overtone stuff. Overtone, sponsor me. Love you. But I use the Overtone. I think it's like espresso brown color that just makes my hair darker because I still have like excess, I guess, discoloration in my hair from highlights where it looks kind of orange-ish because the highlights have grown out and they also are stained with the hair dye I'm using. So it's not really a cute look, but I've been using that and I really like it. Sometimes it does make my hair look black, which has also caused my dad to say that I was emo. Imagine if I dye my hair really dark and he notices my ears. That'll be an interesting day. Though what I do tell him is at least I don't have tattoos. Okay? I feel like it's fine to have my ears pierced. I feel like it's fine to make my hair a darker brown. It's not even like I'm doing it a weird color. Okay, I have done a weird color. Or I guess I don't even know weird, but like out there color. Like I've dyed my hair blue. I actually low-key rocked it, not gonna lie. But experiment with your hair. Try different hairstyles. I don't know if y'all saw, but on my TikTok and Instagram, I posted some videos with like the, what what are they called? Bubble braids. It's like the sorority girl hair, so I tried that. That was great. I hadn't washed my hair in like 4 days, and it looks like my hair was clean. So that was super fun and exciting. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Also, oh my gosh, this is so important. I can't believe I almost didn't mention it. But if you're anyone with textured hair, or I feel like anyone in general, you do not need to be washing your hair every day. I maybe wash my hair like every 3 days, 2, 3, 4 days, depends. Obviously you can like shower in between, but you don't really need to be washing your hair. If you have straight hair, sometimes it's different because your hair gets greasier. But I've also heard some people say that the more you wash your hair, like the quicker it's gonna get oilier. So maybe try not washing your hair for a few days, or doing every other day, every 2 days, every 3 days, whatever. Just get on like a hair washing schedule. That's what I try to do. Honestly, sometimes it doesn't work out, but when you get it, it's golden and it makes you feel like you're better than everyone else because you have your life put together. So 10 out of 10 would recommend everyone do that. What's another hair thing? Oh, also, if you have dry hair, leave-in conditioner is your best friend. Okay? Use it. Use products in your hair. Honestly, I've never been a person who's like styles my hair. I truly had no idea how. But like leave-in conditioner makes your hair look so much nicer. Also, like don't go ham with all the styling tools, I guess, like heat tools, like curling iron, straightener, blow dryer. Just because if you're not taking care of your hair, it can turn bad quickly. So take care of your hair. I know there's, what is it called? A product that is really good for like damaged hair. It's called like Olaplex. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's at salons. I'm not really sure where you can get it, but I know they do it at salons. Because my sister got like an Olaplex treatment for her hair, and it looked 10 times better. It looks so good. So if you can find Olaplex, try that too. But again, be nice to your hair. Sometimes it doesn't look good. We all have bad hair days. Nothing wrong with that. Put it up in a bun if it looks ugly. Okay? Just get it out of your face and you'll be fine. It'll all be okay. Promise.
Today's episode is brought to you by DB. DB is a Scandinavian brand that makes backpacks and bags to help people on the move stay ready for anything. From the streets to the peaks, DB's gear is travel tested by some of the world's best athletes, adventurers, and creators. Over the past decade, DB has designed and developed, released, and refined the best bags in the market. With DB's patented hook-up system, you are able to attach smaller products to your backpack, roller, or tote. Let me just say, having the right bag when you're traveling is so, so important. It can honestly make or break a trip. We're teaming up with DB to exclusively offer our listeners 10% off your next purchase by using the code POD10 or going to the link in our show notes. DB, it's time to move on, time to get going.
My best friend just moved away and I feel like we aren't as close anymore. What should I do? I feel like, I know me personally, this is relatable just because I have a lot of friends who have gone to college. My siblings go to boarding school. I have friends that go to boarding school. So it's like everyone's kind of spread out for me. So it's hard to stay in touch, to stay as close as you were. I think, honestly, even if you are talking to someone, it's still not like you're going to be as close as you were when they were at home. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just because distance. Everyone has their own life. Everyone's on their own schedule, doing your own thing. So no need to worry about that. But definitely understand that feeling. Kind of sucky. I would just say the best thing you can do is to consider that the other person is busy. They have life going on. Maybe they just got in a new environment. They're trying to adapt, trying to find friends at their new school and going and doing fun activities in their new town. And that's perfectly valid. Of course, that's what they should be doing. But it can kind of make you feel like you're left out, or they, I guess, forgot about you, which is not true. Obviously, they still love you. But just try to keep in touch, text them once in a while, try to call them, just comment on their Instagram, swipe up on stories, say hey, check up on them, ask them how they're doing. Just like call them once in a while, and I think that's good. But again, it's kind of hard. Or visit. Visiting is good if you can fly, drive, or have a parent that can take you. You should definitely do that, and I think that'll be good for you and I guess everyone involved, but just try to be understanding of the other person and what they have going on in their life. And again, you don't know exactly everything that they have to do, everything that's going on, everything they might be struggling with in this new place. Just try to be there for them. Be like, hey, if you need anyone to talk to, I'm here for you. Or like, hey, I really miss you. What have you been up to? We should FaceTime soon. Stuff like that. I know for me with my siblings, or at least more my sister, I don't really call my brother, but I'll call her, I'll text her, I'll send her funny TikToks, send her screenshots, tell her what's going on at my school. There's drama, which this past week, we weren't even at school and there was more drama than I swear there was like all junior year. It just, a lot of things just kind of exploded this week. So I was telling her that because of course she thinks it's like hilarious and so funny because she knows half the kids. And honestly, it is funny and like kind of ridiculous because I truly don't know why people care so much about certain things or what certain people say. But just on that note, don't let this person like moving away hold you back from making new friends or meeting new people, because even though maybe your best friend left you or they moved, you now have a new opportunity to meet new people and to find new friends. And it's not like they're going to replace your old friend, but just you can have someone who will also be there for you. That's always good to surround yourself with people you love and new people that can teach you different things. Recently, I haven't been feeling very confident in myself and have been struggling with self-esteem. Any tips? I feel you. I would say the biggest thing for me whenever I feel like I'm struggling with myself, I guess, internally, is that remembering that it's okay to have bad days. It's okay to have bad moments. It's okay to not feel your best all the time. Obviously, it's sucky and it doesn't feel the best, but I think that's perfectly normal and you shouldn't invalidate your own feelings if you aren't feeling very good, if you aren't feeling your best. But just kind of accepting it. I think wallowing and for a little is a good use of your time. But again, you don't want to stay in that constant state of being like, oh my God, I suck. Oh my God, I'm not good at anything. Oh my gosh, like I'm so stupid. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail. Oh my gosh, no one likes me. Oh my gosh, I don't have any friends. Oh my gosh, I'm not good enough to get into that school. Like all those things you aren't really, it's doing nothing for you besides like making you feel like crap. And there you can do something about it. You don't always just have to feel that way. So if you've been feeling that way or like saying negative things to yourself, like how you're gonna feel, maybe that you aren't pretty enough, that you aren't smart enough, that no one likes you, just know that's not true. I swear it's all in your head. And the way I think in life in general, I feel like people can tell who is like more confident in themselves, who accepts themselves, who is like embracing their individuality and like not really just going with the crowd and actually has an opinion and is confident in themselves. And I think those are the people that everyone is attracted to and wants to be around and wants to hang out with. And I mean, obviously everyone's insecure about something. Everyone isn't confident all the time. But even these people who are portraying and act like, oh my gosh, I'm so confident, I'm the best, I'm so pretty, everyone likes me. Even those people can attract someone. It's not even about being confident all the time. Literally, like, fake it till you make it. I say that all the time. If you aren't feeling it, fake it. Tell yourself that you're not going to fail. Tell yourself that you're gorgeous, because you are. Tell yourself you're smart, because you are, and you studied and you worked hard. And it's not always about like bringing yourself down. You need to bring yourself up. And I know it can definitely be especially hard when you have family members or friends who are constantly bringing themselves down as well. And that's how you've been like kind of raised in a way, or you've been surrounded by that. And when you're surrounded by people with bad habits, they kind of rub off on you. So if you notice you have friends who are always seeking like validation from you, who always want you to say, oh my gosh, no, you're not dumb, you're not gonna fail, oh my gosh, you are so pretty, he definitely likes you, or like just like saying stuff that you wouldn't necessarily need to tell someone, but they just want to hear because they can't believe it themselves unless someone else thinks it about them. Just think about who you surround yourself with. It can be hard if it's a parent who's bringing you down. And I mean, you can't exactly get out of that situation, but you can change the way you act by yourself and your own habits, like not talking down to yourself, not telling yourself everything you can't do or everything you don't do well, like pointing out the good things, pointing out the things you did. Like, for example, this morning I had the ACT and I just felt like I was under a lot of pressure to get a certain score from my mom. So that felt like a lot of pressure on me, and I just didn't feel prepared. I really was sitting there. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get this? I'm not good at test taking. I'm not good at the ACT. I mean, I did worse the second time I took it. And I just keep telling myself this, and those thoughts are going around my head. And I have to be like, wait, Carmen, stop. And I was like, I know this stuff. This is basic English. I can speak basic English, okay? That's my native language. I can speak it. Basic math. I'm in Calc BC. I should know how to do all of this math. This is nothing I haven't seen before. Reading. I read books all the time. I understand. Science. That one was a little iffy, but we just avoided it when we were thinking about it. But in the car, I was just telling myself that, I was like, I can do it. I can get a good score on the ACT, and I will do well on the ACT. And I just kind of kept saying that to myself, like a little mantra, you know, like those self-love mantras. I was doing that, but it was more with my abilities, because I know for myself, when I'm not feeling the most confident, it's usually more about my abilities rather than like physical appearance. Like, I would say I'm pretty confident in how I look. I mean, pretty cute, not gonna lie. So whenever I've been a little low or had a little bit of low self-esteem, it's been more about, oh my gosh, I'm gonna fail this test. Oh my gosh, what if I mess up on this presentation? Oh my gosh, what if they don't like me? Oh my gosh, like, I'm not good at this. I'm not gonna do it. Stuff like that, I think holds me back more. But that's what I like to tell myself. Just have like a little positive mantra. And it can honestly be hard to get yourself out of the headspace of saying that you're going to fail, saying that you aren't going to do well. But once you kind of realize that, I think it really helps just to tell yourself, like, I got this. I can do it. I'm prepared. And even if you aren't, just tell it to yourself, okay? Just keep saying it until you start to believe it, and then you'll be good. And I swear, I think that helped me on the ACT. I really hope I'm not saying this and then I end up doing worse than I did before, because that would be super embarrassing. But I will let you guys know, probably, if I remember. Not what I got, because I don't want people to feel bad about themselves or gain, or in the same sense, gain confidence for me doing worse than them, because that's not a very nice thing to do, and I don't want to say what I got, so I'll just let you know if I did better or worse, and if, like, saying nice things to myself helped. So, main things with self-confidence, self-esteem, surround yourself with better people, and if you can't get away from them, focus on creating your own habits, not following after them, and not falling into the same patterns. And also, like, speak kindly to yourself. Don't tell yourself everything you can't do. Tell yourself, oh my gosh, yes, I got this. This is going to be okay. I know what's going on. I know how to do this. I understand the material. Or, like, I'm pretty. I am beautiful. I'm rocking it. I look great today. Look at yourself in the mirror and be like, oh my gosh, double take. Wow, I look so good. Stuff like that. I also think it helps if you really think about what you actually know how to do. So, like, not invalidating your abilities. So, like, stick to the facts when it comes to if you're worried about something, stick to what you know. Let's say you have a calc test and you're super worried about it, but you spent like 4 hours studying, whatever, and you're worried you're gonna fail. You don't think you're gonna do well. Everyone in the class is smarter than you. Okay, those are opinions. That's not fact. Fact is that you studied for 4 hours. Fact is that you understand the material. Fact is that you asked the teacher for help. Fact is that you know how to do this. Fact is that you paid attention in class. So, therefore, you are prepared. Stuff like that, like sticking to the facts, not just letting yourself, like, kind of get away with it or be like, oh my gosh, you can't do this. You're going to fail. And I think that helps. Just remember the actual facts. Remember what's going on. And I think especially for me, that's what I was struggling with this week was when I was visiting schools, I kept thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to get into any of these schools? They're insane. Literally no one gets in. My test scores aren't high enough. My GPA probably isn't high enough for some of them. Am I doing enough for my extracurriculars? What am I going to do? What if they don't want me? What am I going to do if I don't get into any of the schools that I apply to? And just like those thoughts, which obviously that's not very healthy. That's not very positive for myself because I mean, I will get into a school. Not sure which one. Obviously, it might not be the best school I'm applying to, not the one with like a 6% acceptance rate because what? What? And I think it's also helpful to remember when it comes to college, if you're like worried about not getting into school, worried that you're not smart enough to get in somewhere, or that you didn't do enough during high school, that your GPA isn't high enough, that your test score isn't the best. Just remember you're gonna end up where you need to be. Your school, even if wasn't your top choice, it'll be better for you. In the end, you're gonna be where you need to be. I think that's what we all need to remember in life too, because I know I get so caught up, so worried about what's going on, what could have been, what I should have done, like the level or the standard I set for myself. But I need to remember, like, I'm here, this is where I'm gonna be, and that's okay. Even if I'm not exactly where I want to be, I know that I can improve and that I can change things. And it's not like everything's going to stay stagnant and nothing's going to change until I'm like 50. So there's a lot of room for improvement, room for growth. I think that's all something we need to remember, that you don't need to be perfect, even though you might want to be, or that maybe you think you are perfect. If that's the case, good for you. But also don't let that get in your way of like changing and wanting to grow and wanting to improve the skills that you do or do not already have. So, what are some beginner tips for starting a podcast? So, recently I've been getting a lot of DMs about people who are like, my best friend and I want to start a podcast. What do we do? Or, I want to start a podcast, but I have no idea where to start. First of all, y'all, I literally have an episode about this. So we're going to keep this short and sweet-ish, but I'll just summarize, I guess, because I'm nice and I love you guys. But I'm not going to respond to all the DMs. Me just sending the episode link. Oh my god, I would never do that. Yes, I would. I have done that before. But I do have an episode about this. I do have two IGTVs about this. So it's not like there's a lack of information. There's Google, there's YouTube. That's there too. Number one tip, use Google and YouTube. Literally Google how to start a podcast. That's what I did. That's what everyone does. If you really want to do something, figure it out. That's the fun part, learning how to do it. Not having someone like spoon feed you information. Of course, I'm happy to help. I'm happy to give tips. But again, if there's something that you can easily find on Google and you're asking me about it, girl, don't be so lazy. Don't be so lazy. You got it. Love you though. But just some tips besides that. Again, do your own research. Use Anchor. It's free. It can distribute to multiple platforms. And then also I think it's helpful if you're starting a podcast to have a plan, know what you're doing. Don't do a podcast about yourself unless you're famous. No one cares. I'm just going to say that. No one cares if you don't have like actually something you're talking about, if it's like journal entries every day. Most people don't really care about that. I mean, obviously someone might, maybe you're super interesting. The majority of people don't want to know what's going on with your life. I mean, obviously as you grow a platform and you get more people, they're more invested in you. But when you first start out, they want to like see stuff. And they don't know who you are. They don't know why they should care about who you are. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of people use this word like niche. Have a niche. Have a plan. Know who your target audience is. Who are you making this podcast for? Who are you trying to reach? So another tip, use social media to your advantage. I promise you it is not that hard. All the tips you see, use them, okay? Like, people always ask me, oh my gosh, Carmen, how did you get so many followers? Oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'm literally doing what people tell me to do, guys. It's not that hard. Just freaking post reels, okay? I'm sorry if I sound like angry. I promise I'm not. It just kind of pisses me off that people act like I'm doing something special when like I just put in work and like time to figure out what works for me and what doesn't, and how to grow and how to actually get people to listen and putting myself out there. So again, it's about work. You have to be patient, stick with it. Know how to manage your time, especially if you're a student, if you're in school. Like, you have a life, you have stuff going on, you have schoolwork, you have sports, extracurriculars, social time. You need to figure out how you're going to manage it, if it can actually fit in your schedule. Because there are so many people that start podcasts that will do like 3 episodes and then stop, and that's it, because they don't have the time. They couldn't keep it up. It wasn't like a sustainable thing for them to do. So really think about it before you start. I know when I started, I didn't really think about it, but if I could go back, that's something I would do. Just like think more on it and contemplate, is this something that I can continue? Is this something that I'm willing to do for a while? I know for me, there are a lot of times that I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna quit. This is stupid. But I didn't, mainly probably because I'm stubborn and I was like, I can't quit. I need to do this. So I didn't quit, which being stubborn can be a good quality and also horrible at times. So keep that in mind. If you aren't a very driven person, maybe try doing something else. And again, decide if you want to do like your podcast more as a business thing or like a fun hobby thing. Because if it's a fun hobby thing, then that totally changes everything I just said. And you can talk all about yourself. You can do whatever you want. You can be something about your school, something that maybe only a few people can relate to. But like if it's more of a business, you want to relate to like a large amount of people, like a bigger demographic. You want it to not just be about yourself. So, food for thought. Think about that if you are planning on starting a podcast or interested in that. And I know, I feel like I talk about this all the time, but so many people ask me, like, how did you start a podcast? Like, what did you do? Oh my god, you did such a great job. Oh my god, you're famous, which, like, I'm not. But just time, literally time, actually, like, showing up on social media, posting consistently for over a year. Y'all, I literally posted every week for over a year, except for 1 week, and that was like 2 weeks ago because it was a mess. It was a mess. There were tears. I feel like all my stories involve tears, but I just realized like I cry a good amount. Sometimes I'm not even sad though, too. Like sometimes it just happens where I don't even know. Yesterday on the airplane though, I just started crying and there was no reason. I was listening to like an audiobook because I couldn't focus enough to read an actual book. So I was listening to an audiobook. Then I was like, oh my god, that's so sad. And it wasn't even sad. It was like So the audiobook I'm listening to, I swear it's probably a book for like middle schoolers, but it's called, oh my god, what is it? Like Eleanor and Park or something. And I'm not actually reading it. I'm just listening to it. But it's like about teenagers in the 1980s, and it was so cute because he would bring comic books on the bus for her to read, and I was like, oh my god, that is so cute. And then I just started crying. Then I was like, if I'm gonna cry, I might as well listen to sad music. So then I was listening to sad music and staring out dramatically out the airplane window. But then of course I got like my neck started hurting, so I had to like change positions, but I was still trying to be dramatic. So I was like staring out the window, thinking about like everything going wrong in my life, or like people. And honestly, sometimes you just need a good cry. Sometimes you need to cry in public. I think that's good use of my time. The amount of times I've cried while driving a car is probably not good, but that's okay. That's okay. You win some, you lose some. Okay, last question. Just to like sum stuff up, I guess. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? I feel like it's really hard just to pick one, but I think for me, what has stuck with me the most was something that one of my history teachers actually said. And I don't even know if this was technically advice, but just how in life, the only constant, or oh my god, how did she say this? The only thing that's constant in life is change. And as someone who's like not a big fan of change, I like things staying the same. I don't like transitioning to new things. I don't like going to new environments. It's probably not good. I need to step more out of my comfort zone. Yeah, obviously, whatever. But it's like uncomfortable for me and I don't enjoy it. But just thinking about how in life things are always going to be changing. Nothing's going to stay the same. So just like appreciate it while it lasts. Appreciate the small little moments, the little wins, little victories, times with friends, late night car rides, just like appreciating things because you don't know when it's going to change. And you're probably going to regret not doing certain things. So do what you want and love what you do. Oh my god, I'm literally like a Pinterest board. I can pull out so many cheesy quotes right now. But hopefully that helps you, I guess. I don't know if that's the best thing. I guess another one, just to include, because it's kind of short and it's something my dad always says to me when I'm not being the nicest person. But just saying like pretty is as pretty does. So you're only it's I guess not necessarily even about being pretty in general, but just like you're as good as your actions. So like your actions reflect who you are. So even if you're the most beautiful person ever, if you don't act like it, if you aren't like beautiful inside, if you aren't kind to others, if you aren't all these things, if you're a horrible person, like that's going to reflect on the outside and negatively impact your life and that of others. So keep that in mind. Know that your actions affect other people and that it's not just like you're living in your own bubble and not interacting with anybody. And if you are, go outside and go say hi to someone. Okay. And don't forget to follow or subscribe based on, I guess, wherever you're listening on the podcast platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, say hey. And make sure you leave a review for the podcast on Apple Podcasts. I wish Spotify had them. They don't, but that's okay. If you have a Spotify, don't worry about it. Make sure you're following me on Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest, I guess, too, at the Girly Girl Podcast. If you want to see more from me throughout the week, I post fun, inspirational quotes on my Instagram, which is exciting, and meme videos that definitely aren't based off of real events that happened in my life that are slightly vague, but definitely not based on real experiences. Oh my god, what am I talking about? I don't know. Haha. So, sorry, I don't know where I was going with that. But I hope you guys have a great week. I'll be going back to school, so pray for me. And Love y'all so much. Peace out. Bye.